right, this is KMG, Kari Jifa of On Stage Broadcasting. This is what we do. We meet up with some of the most interesting, talented artists in the area, and we bring them to you into your living room. We let you know what's going on in their art, in their life. We share a little bit of who they are with you. Hopefully you'll get online, comment to the article, and share some of your responses and some of the things that you see as we present these amazing artists to you. Tonight we are here with Jenee Interview. She is one of the most outstanding artists in the area, because I've been watching her for about 10 years on stage, maybe even a little more than that. And I've loved her from the very beginning. I don't make it a secret, my absolute favorite female R&B vocalist is Joy Gilliam out of Atlanta. She kind of reminds me of her, and ever since I first heard that first note and she reminded me of her, I've kind of been in love with her since. So she's one of my favorites. I think as you hear us talk about her career over the last, well, we'll talk about how long it is in a minute, as we tell you all about her accomplishments and her achievements in this area, you'll learn to love her as well. Jenee, so good to have you here.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, this is somebody I know. This is our personal friend beyond the art. This is somebody who is a family member, really. So there'll be some moments of sincere genuineness here that may be kind of inside jokish, but you'll get it. This is us, okay? So let's first talk about who you are as a musician, as an artist. Just give us the history for people who may not have been exposed to you but know the DC music scene. Talk about some of the ways you got started and how people would know you.
Okay. Well, I got started quite young. I'm from a musical family. Both of my parents sing. My mother plays piano. My father's a percussionist. My brother David's a poet. You know, we grew up singing as a family in the church. So that wasn't exactly directly, of course I did choir in school and everything and got my little solos, but I really didn't start, gigging around the area until after college. And
you were a bison, right?
I am a half bison, half Terp.
Okay, half bison, half Terp, okay.
But, and my first gig was with the band Soul Thoughts at Tacoma Station. Before they became, at that point they were more R&B oriented versus go-go oriented. Totally different band. Okay. But that was the first band I ever gigged with at Tacoma Station.
Okay, awesome. So people know Tacoma Station's history. Have put on many artists and many legendary people gone through there. And what year was that when you first started?
Oh my goodness. It's so scary to say it.
We gotta date you here. We gotta let people know that you are.
I've been doing this since like the 90s. I'd say the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
that
was,
All right. So, that lets you know that it's somebody who's been through this scene for a while. If you say her name to many, many people around here, they immediately know who you're talking about, because she's been on different projects, worked with several different artists. So that's the musical history, the foundation. Let's talk about who you are as an artist. Like, who inspired you? What are some of your early influences? Like, what makes you the artist that you are? Because lots of people sing, but you do what you do.
I try to do that.
Yeah.
Well, definitely I'd say, growing up singing gospel influenced, definitely, musically. But also, I think my very favorite artist in the world, my first favorite artist was Stevie Wonder. Even when I was a little kid, I loved Stevie Wonder for his lyrical content as well as his melodies and the impact of his messages. And definitely, Prince growing up, definitely Bob Marley growing up. Definitely in terms of female vocalists, I go for the duskiers, the duskier voices, but I love Phyllis Hyman, the late great Phyllis Hyman, the late great Phoebe Snow. I love Sade. I've tried to keep myself open musically to continuously evolve and experience, different artists and continue to get something from it. You know what I mean? Possibly grow from it.
You know, one thing I noticed is that you don't do a lot of, smooth jazz, R&B. That's not really your thing. You have that ability. I've heard you sing those types of songs, but you tend towards you do rock covers. I've heard you do, things that are a little more quote unquote kind of grungier things. Is that something that you just like personally? Is that happen to be the case because of the musicians that you work with? How has that been a part of your history over and over, like I've seen it?
I mean, I definitely love to rock. I kind of wanted to make sure that, that my musical contribution would be a little more, less expected. So I think like it was more expected for me to go in the R&B direction, maybe neo soul direction. But I love rock music. And the band Alternate Route, which we formed again in the late 90s, early 2000s, we definitely considered ourselves a rock and soul project. You know what I mean? We had Cornell Pierce, who I still work with in my current project, the late great Roger Freeman on bass, Demetrius Bynum on drums, and Gina Muhammad on background vocals. And I think we did some pretty good damage, covering some Stone Temple Pilots to, Mother's Finest to, we tried to spread the love.
Yeah, I really like that. I like the Stone Temple Pilots covers. I liked a lot of that Alternate project. So that's actually where I was first introduced to you, and really been following you ever since that. So, okay, so that's a part of you. That's part of your package. But you've done other stuff too, even up to and including, I remember there was an opera project or something that you worked on once.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I did study Italian aria, just for the quality of the vocal lessons.
Right.
And I did a lot of classical choir, like at University of Maryland, at Howard, because the classical, you can't get better than the classical vocal training.
Right.
And I think it's interesting to have the combo of gospel and operatic training, because people think gospel basically just shred your voice or whatever. But my mom didn't teach it that way. She teaches you to take care of your throat as well. And I'm already dusky, so.
Right. I love that though, that you have all those wide-ranging influences, and still, you can kind of translate that into whatever that you're doing. So I think it's one of your strengths. What do you want to do in your musical career? Because as you said, you've been through different projects, Alternate Route. You had your own project for a while that was just called Jenee, right? And so where do you want to go now? What's your new direction?
Well,
where does the road wind from here?
I guess it winds. I mean, and just to put out, I was also for years with a band called J. Michael and Company, and with a band called Congregation. Like, just to give them a shout out real quick. Yes,
please do. I just saw J. Michael yesterday.
Yes, yes. We had a great State of the Union reunion.
Yeah, State of the Union reunion. It was just yesterday. So.
Yes. But right now, Cornell Pierce and I have been working on an acoustic project for the last, at least 6 years or so, where it's unplugged, and we're doing our very favorite soul, alternative rock, and reggae songs. And we've lucked upon a group of musicians that we are working with right now to plug back in and kind of get back down to doing full band shows. And they're called Missing Pieces, and the project's called Jenee with Missing Pieces.
Okay.
So we are we're right now putting together our show. We just finished the demo 2 weeks ago, so we're getting the finishing touches done on that. And we're scheduling our photo shoot, and we're hoping to go ahead and debut in spring, because I wanted to marinate, I wanted to be tight, and really have a great show put together.
Right. So that's essential for a musician of your caliber. We already know you don't come out if it's not a tight band. You know what I mean? And with all the, all those growing pains, we don't see that. That would be totally unlike you. So no one expects that. So we'll wait for the spring.
Yes.
Trust me, because it's going to be worth it.
Yes.
So that's where you want to go music. Since you started though, you've gone through different things. How has your taste kind of evolved, your styles evolved? What has happened from the very beginning to now, where you can look back to the mid '90s, the early 2000s, and say, I was kind of this artist then, but now I'm this.
That's a good question.
Yeah. What has happened, and how are you different today?
I mean, I would say that there's definitely been an evolution just because I've continued to do it. And I think that coming out of the gate, was more like just sing, always in a strong voice, sing. And, I've learned through backing up artists like J. Michael, like, Omar, like, you learn how to modulate your voice. You learn how to blend your vocals better. Everybody that can sing can't sing with somebody. You know what I mean? So to me, it's an art not just to be a lead singer, but also a background singer. You know what I mean? And know how to blend your voice. So I think that I've evolved as a vocalist. I've learned how to create different textures, whereas before I was a little more one-dimensional. I worked on creating more warmth, working on my lower register as well as my higher register. Okay. I've really continued to work, and I think like a body in motion stays in motion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's impossible to be what you were if you've continued to work to be where you're at.
Okay.
So.
All right, so I guess that means we can look forward to some vocal solos maybe in the show.
Yes.
Maybe you and Gene are playing off of doing things. I can expect that.
Definitely.
Okay, so I look forward to that.
I should say who Missing Pieces is.
Oh, yes.
My
please,
bad.
Please.
So Missing Pieces consists of Cornell Pierce, who's our music director and on lead guitar, Sticks on drums, and Turner on bass, and Gina Muhammad on background vocals.
Excellent. So we know you'll have covers in there,
yes.
Right? That was a part of it. But do you plan to do original stuff with this project too?
Yes, definitely. Okay. We'll be coming out of the gate with some original songs, but we plan on as well like writing some more. Okay. I don't want to always delve into what's already been done. I look forward to creating new music with a new group of musicians.
Okay.
So.
Now, which direction do you see that taking in terms of the content of the music? I mean, obviously you have, standard fare, love relationship stuff. You've done a lot of that in the past. And that's such a rich, fertile ground. You can always go there, because people always have relationships and
drama.
Always have things going on with them. So you can always do that. But is there anything new? I mean, as you become an older woman and you're doing your thing, in life, do you see new things that you want to develop and maybe present to younger people? I mean, I'm really thinking, I know you and I know how you just carry yourself. You carry yourself as a lady. You know what I'm saying? Very easy to respect from a distance, a person who knows you, a person who doesn't know you. Whereas today, you don't see that as often. You see young women, it's all about twerking and all this ridiculous stuff.
Yes.
And they don't, they just don't have the type of aura that you do. So given that, like, do you see maybe a way in your new direction of music where you can kind of present that to young people and, kind of put that role model image? I hate to put that heavy weight on you, but
I mean, you hope that, you hope that you're going to put out something. I don't write with, this is going to be the definite folks who are going to respond. I'm not, I'm grown, so I'm definitely not writing pop, type of things.
Right.
But I would say that I still want to write on, the human experience, love, life, loss, happiness, sadness. I would love to get into some more dance tracks. I do love house music, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I tend to write more either slow or rock oriented on my own. That's why I like to also work with other artists to see what we can come up as a collective. You know what I mean? And I look to young women out there today. I heard the older women. I'm not quite that old yet, but but what I am saying is that But there are artists like, and we were just talking about this yesterday after the State of the Union reunion, but like Janelle Monáe. Like one of my goddaughters, that's her favorite artist. And she's all of like 12.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there are
that.
artists out here who are influencing our young women
Yeah.
that aren't necessarily positively taking it all off and, you know, getting there. And there's a place for the twerking and stuff and all that, you know, but is that what I would want, you know, my kid to model themselves after and use as a template? No, but it's good to see young artists coming up, Esperanza, you know, Janelle Monáe. There's still so much talent out here that isn't falling prey to, you know, that sort of objectification. And I don't want to get all into that because I'm down with people, you know, being grown and sexy, but at this point, there's almost there's no limits at this point almost. Like you can turn on the television at any time and see whatever, you know. So I like it to stick to the music. You know, I like for my message to come through the music. I'm not, you won't find me twerking or putting in lyrics that, I always say, like even now, if I can't sing it in front of my mom, I'm probably not going to sing it on stage.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I want to keep on growing, I want to keep on developing, but as I've always done, I want to just, you know, focus on the music, focus on being the best artist I can be, focus on evolving my vocals, evolving my writing style, evolving my performance, you know, and I just feel blessed that I'm able and have been able to keep doing this and that people still listen, you know.
That's right.
So,
and we do, and we will.
You know, hey, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely so. And we're happy to have you. You know, it's a few people in this area who have been able to perform for 10 years more, you know, maybe two decades or so, and consistently get love from this area because people know and understand their art, you know, and you're a person who's done that through various incarnations, you know, different bands, solo, you know, and to be able to still draw crowds and still perform, it's a real blessing.
Yes.
I mean, I know you have to be appreciative of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what, you know, that is a type of success. Certainly, what do you define for yourself as success? You know, are you still chasing success? Are you successful today? And, you know, you're continuing this success. How do you view
That's a really good
success?
question. Because like years ago, like at least a decade and a half, my mother helped me to change the trajectory in terms of the definition of success in this. Because, you know, it's not, it's the journey. It's every show. It's not like that show that got you signed. And I had to change the trajectory of my thinking a long time ago. Because the internet has brought about the ability for folks of all ages, you know what I mean, to kind of stay relevant in a way that wasn't necessarily available before with just the record labels. But it's, you know, it's been a great opportunity just to be able to go out here and still care enough to stay disciplined, because this isn't going to pay any of my bills per se. You know what I'm saying? So if you're defining success as, you know, I'm on tour, I'm signed to this label, I'm making this many $1 million, I just love it. I love to perform, and I define success as the ability to continue to do that to an audience that follows me. You know what I mean? So I consider success the ability for me to perform. So do I consider myself successful now? Yes, because I've never stopped doing what I love to do. And I hold down a full-time job, you know what I mean? But I rehearse all the time. I don't even know myself if I don't have a rehearsal for something. Actually, my bandmate Cornell got me a T-shirt that says I can't. I have rehearsal. So I'm gonna get that for me and my mother. So,
I can't.
But you know, success is to me, if you've still been doing it all this time, it's because you love it. And I never did it because I could get a Brandon Benz or because I could, you know, buy a big old mansion or whatever. You know, I do it because I love to sing.
Awesome. Awesome. I mean, that's all the reason you ever need. You know, and I think it's an inspiring reason as well. So if there was just one thing, because we want to wrap it up, we don't want to take the whole night here, but if there was just one thing that you could impart to someone watching the video who may aspire to be an artist, what could you tell them? What could you share with them that you would hope they could use to, propel themselves forward, even if not commercially or whatever, but just deeper into the art to become better at what we do?
I think when God blesses you with a talent that you don't express, you implode in some ways inside. I think you go mad in a way. So I would encourage anybody who has that seed to grow it, to nurture it, and to not be afraid to work with other folks. I've met so many other wonderful female artists out here, Deborah Bond, Alphabets, you know what I mean? Like don't be afraid to share your gift with other people and work with other people. Don't get caught up in the rat race that equals, oh, there's a trillion people that can sing better than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have no problem saying that.
Okay.
But I'm also confident in my gift. And I like working with other folks and collaborating with other folks who just want to create. So what would I say? Keep doing it and don't drink the haterade.
Yeah.
Let's get more collaborations going in DC.
Yes, definitely.
That's what I would say.
Yes, thank you. That's something that needed to be said.
Yes.
We need to work together because we got one person, right now we got Wale pretty much representing the whole area. I mean, love him, nothing but love and respect and power to him, but we need more.
Yes.
We need more.
Yes.
So, because it's a big city with a
lot of talent,
a rich history of music, man, and to just have one person out there is kind of ridiculous, I saw that they just gave an award to the guy who did Diamond in the Back. He's Capital.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I love that song.
I just learned that, man. So let me share that with you.
Yeah, all right. Well, there's a positive.
Yeah. So we got legends in this community, man. We're still growing legends.
Yes.
Still making them. So stay tuned to On Stage DC. Jenee will be here. I will be here.
Yes.
More interesting music and artists will be here as well. So keep coming back. And we'll keep you updated on what's new with Miss Jenee.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.